Well, hi, this is John the TRICARE guy, and I'm back with episode 5. If you watched our episode 4, it was our top 10 tips on saving money with TRICARE, but I left you with a cliffhanger, and today we're going to resolve that. And so today is our episode about the biggest TRICARE hack of all time. This particular trick works best for those on TRICARE Select or TRICARE for Life who are living overseas. And the reason for that is people in that situation don't really have easy access to network providers. In general, you'll be seeing non-network providers and paying a 25% copayment. So with these larger copayments, you are going to more quickly reach your annual cap, your catastrophic cap, which is the maximum amount that your family has to pay out of pocket on copayments and monthly fees and deductible. And when you reach your annual cap, at that point, all of your remaining medical expenses, your allowable medical expenses, are refunded 100% for the rest of the year. The great thing about a cap is, first of all, it protects your family. That's why they call it a catastrophic cap. So if you happen to have massive medical bills in a given year, your out-of-pocket costs are still limited. And the other great thing about it is that the cap is shared between all family members. So once you reach a cap, then all your family members benefit from that cap, and all further claims for your family for the rest of the year are refunded 100%. So on the one hand, people look at this as financial protection for your family, which is true. It's one of the greatest things about TRICARE, which really isn't understood or appreciated by a lot of users. But you also can use this cap strategically, understanding how it works, to take advantage of it, and to limit your expenses for your care through the year. So think about a family, a normal family running a normal budget. When you have a lot of big ticket items that you need to buy, let's say you need a new refrigerator, you got to repair the furnace, maybe repairs on the car, maybe medical bills. All of these expenses add up for a family. And the way that many families cope is to kind of spread these out over different years. You encounter these expenses little by little so that you can afford them within your budget. But healthcare doesn't work that way. And the reason is you have this cap. And once you reach the cap, you won't have any further expenses for the year for your allowable medical costs. So if you understand that, it turns your family budget upside down. Rather than spreading out costs little by little, year by year, so that you can stay within your budget, what you do is you pile all of them into a single calendar year, reach that cap purposely, and then at that point you have no further expenses. You may pay medical bills out of pocket. You turn in a claim. Instead of getting 75% back on that claim, you're going to get 100% back, and that is true all the way until January 1st of the next calendar year. So to put an example on this, I did this purposefully and intentionally with my family in 2020. Of course, we didn't know that COVID was coming, and that kind of complicated things, but we did it anyway. We were living in Thailand under TRICARE Select, paying 25% copayments. I went into 2020 with this expectation to see how well does it work and how possible is it. The problem in Thailand, I say, quote, problem, it's a good problem to have. The problem in Thailand is that medical costs are generally so low that it can be a challenge under normal circumstances to reach your cap. So in general, at the type of hospitals that I went to, which are kind of the upper tier of hospitals in Thailand, medical expenses are about 25% of American costs. So something that might cost $10,000 in America may cost me only $2,500 in Thailand. So it wasn't easy to reach my cap, which was $3,000 that year. I purposefully piled a lot of expenses into that year, things that had been long deferred. I get an overnight sleep study to revalidate my sleep apnea condition. We bought a CPAP, and it was an imported model, which is kind of expensive in Thailand, but that was covered 75%. Some mental health counseling. We did some things like dermatology, which had a medical condition that was covered by TRICARE. Then the usual, not physical, but wellness checks and things that we did, all the usual. And so by about Thanksgiving, we reached our cap of $3,000 for the entire family. Now, what I had planned all along was to get rather expensive eye surgery for a cataract condition. And we went to a participating hospital, an authorized hospital in Pattaya, Thailand, but they were non-network. This procedure could probably cost about $10,000, which means my 25% share would be $2,500. However, we'd reached the cap. And so we put in a claim for $10,000 and got it all back entirely. It cost me nothing at all. Now, in reality, the hospital turned in the claims, so they sent the entire bill to TRICARE. I paid only a small amount to upgrade. Now, normally with cataract, you get what's called a monofocal lens. It's the most basic lens that can be implanted. That's covered by TRICARE, but many people prefer an upgrade of a more capable lens, and that's what I did. So I paid for that upgrade, which is just a few $100s. I do hear of people in other countries paying $3,000 to $6,000 for this upgrade, but in Thailand, it was only $250 for a highly upgraded German-made intraocular lens. I had this procedure done on December 28th of 2020. 4 days later, this procedure would have cost me over $2,500. But because I did it before the end of the year, my cap had been fulfilled, it was no cost to me whatsoever. Okay, so as you can see, this takes a bit of strategic planning. Let's say you have a number of expensive procedures coming. You might need back surgery. You've put it off for a few years. Hip replacement. Someone, maybe your spouse, dealing with carpal tunnel. Whatever it is, these are things that maybe you've delayed, you've put off. They're more or less routine in nature, meaning it's not an emergency situation. You can do these things and plan and schedule them all to take place within a single calendar year. So let's say you have 4 expenses coming up. Each of them, let's just say each of them costs $10,000, and if you spread them out over 4 years, you have your copayment of $2,500. So over the course of 4 years, you're out $10,000 just on these copayments alone, plus any other medical care you might have had along the way. But if you pile them all into a single calendar year, the first procedure, you hit that cap, and now all the other 3 procedures, not just you, but maybe other members of your family, they all count towards this single cap. All of those are covered 100%, and your total cost out of pocket is your cap. Now, I'm recording this in 2023. Under TRICARE Select, the family cap is just over $4,000. Under TRICARE for Life, it's $3,000. If you're an active duty family, it's much lower, probably around $1,000. Whatever the cap is for your family, you reach that. All further care is covered. I want to offer a couple of precautions. Don't do this in a frivolous way. This has to be medically necessary care, things that are genuinely needed. You're going to be putting in a claim, and TRICARE is going to look at this and adjudicate it, and obviously they want to know that this was truly necessary. Secondly, it may not be medically advisable to pile a number of medical procedures back to back to back, and so you do this in consultation with your doctor with full disclosure to everyone involved. Make sure that it's medically prudent. And the third thing is, if you're going to follow this approach, it may take some advanced planning. You have workups and screenings and diagnostic testing that hospitals will want to do in advance to verify that the procedure is actually advised and recommended. And these things can take months. So you might want to start planning something like this the year before, getting your workups, determining who your doctors are going to be, all your different family members involved, because it doesn't have to be just a single individual. It may be other family members collectively. Get all these workups done. But this is something huge that you can do to really improve your health. It's for the benefit of you and your family, and protects your bank account and your bottom line to use your benefits in a very prudent and strategic way. So that's it. I did all this in a single take, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Jan's Medical Supply. Please visit their website at jansmedicalsupply.com for all of your needs for medical equipment, medical supplies, refills for different supplies. They will take care of you. And if you have any issues, come to me, because I've got the inside track with Jan's, and we'll make sure you've got everything you need from them. They serve globally and have stores all over the world. Also, we have other resources besides this YouTube channel. Please visit us at thetricareguide.com. You'll find links to our Facebook group, to our newsletter. You can sign up for our monthly TRICARE newsletter, and also our book, TRICARE Around the World, which is available as an ebook or paperback on Amazon, and you can also download it directly on your Apple device using the Apple Book app. Just open the app and search for TRICARE Around the World or my name, John Letaw, and you'll find the book right there. So it's a pleasure talking to you, and join our discussion. Let us know how this hack has worked for you and your family. Until next week, we'll see you again. Thank you.